Chris Brazzell, wide receiver, Tennessee, 6'5", 200. 3 years, 136 receptions, 2,072 yards, 16 touchdowns, with only 2 drops in 2025. Interesting prospect. I like his route running a lot for a big receiver. I think he's pretty clean with leverage and some technicalities we'll get into in this video. Makes the long and contested catches as you'd like from a guy with his size. And I think he's got really good long speed as well. Some of these big guys look like, they're not moving as fast as they really are. So if he runs at the combine, I'm interested to see, what his time will be. Some of the negatives, I think press can give him trouble. He didn't see a ton in college, but DBs can get hands on him. Could be a problem in the NFL. Limited rack ability. Didn't break too many tackles. I mean, 6'5", 200 is pretty thin. So he's not an overly strong player. Can have some trouble creating separation. I think that kind of ties a little bit in with the press. And we'll talk about at the end here. I think he has some effort concerns, all things considered. Side note for just the channel in general here. I just recently gained access to a lot more games, a lot more old 22 footage. So certain guys, like I had only one game of Jacob Rodriguez, Kyle Lewis. Those are two linebackers I was really interested in doing videos on. Lewis, I didn't have any videos at all. Some other players as well. I just had limited video or almost no videos at all. So I just got access to almost the entire 2025 library. So have a lot more videos coming out. I might even do some part twos, on maybe some of the combine winners that I've already done. Like, I did a video on Styles, a little bit low on his tape overall. Everyone loves the guy. Obviously, he lit up the combine. He's maybe the best combine tester at linebacker ever. So maybe I'll go back and do some part twos on some players, and certainly have some of these profiles coming out for guys that won at the combine, which is happening now as I'm recording here. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and rewind here and get right into it. So bottom of the screen here, working against basically a press man. We do a good job with the release, creating horizontal separation inside, and we're running that post. So we keep that separation deep, kind of underthrown, but we go back through the pass interference, make the contested catch, stay on our feet, and run it in for a touchdown. And he went ballistic against Georgia, like 172 and 3 touchdowns. Next touchdown against Georgia, bottom of the bunch here. Let's go back. He kind of runs an outward release, stacking up his leverage with this DB, snaps it off just inside so we can run by him. Really good route. Touchdown. Top of the screen here. Nothing spectacular on the release. But yeah, we go up and make a video game-like catch here, just kind of stealing it from the DB who's in a decent position, right? Has a chance to make a play on the ball. We just kind of take it from him, and we're in the end zone. So like that a lot about Brazzell. Bottom of the screen here, just running a little post against Kentucky, getting in behind the defender, the middle safety, bites on that underneath route. We take the top off our guy, who has the right deep third, and we just win. So he could score the long touchdown. There's no question about that. Can make the contested play as well. All good things, with his size. So a couple clips here of his route running. I really like it for a big guy. You see a lot of guys struggle with route running, and I think he's got some stuff in his bag here. So bottom of the screen, we're going to run it out against this DB. The DB is going to be in phase here, in good position, and just textbook throw by, right? So he's going to put his hand on the back of this DB's jersey real subtly, because it is technically a push off, but with perfect technique, it never gets called. He's going to put his hand on this DB's butt or on the back of his jersey, throw him by, and use his momentum with that hand, like kind of pulling, to spin himself out into this outbreaking route here, which he does textbook here. Perfect. Throws that DB by, does an excellent job there. Catch on the sideline. Really, really good stuff. Okay. Next one. Little curl slash like comeback here. Also textbook. So for those who don't know, you run your curl or comeback kind of different depending on the alignment and coverage you're getting from the defensive back. Obviously, it's not one size fits all. Sometimes, you'll kind of run if it's like press man, get a little release, run outside, and you'll throw him by with that hand on his back, like we just saw on the out. In this case, he has outside off coverage, outside shade. He's going to run up, kind of attack outside here, make the DB bite and flip. And once he does, look, where's he looking? Not at us, not at the quarterback. We win, so we're going to break down here. Again, textbook stuff. Textbook stuff. I like that a lot out of Brazzell. I mean, really clean stuff. Subtle things like that allow you to win. So bottom of the screen here. I like his drive phase a lot here. I mean, when I first watched this play, I mean, they threw it to him deep so much it deceived me. Comes off the line. Certainly looks like we're going deep. Break it off in just a few steps here. Create separation on the comeback. QB puts it in its place, and we make the play. So really good stuff. I like what he's about as a route runner for a big receiver. Overall, I just like his route running overall, and he's 6'5", so I think that's a better way of putting it. So next couple plays here are nearly identical, both against Kentucky. A little bit of good and bad here. So we're bottom of the screen. We're running. Kind of general rule of thumb is you want to give yourself and your quarterback as much space as possible on these verts. You don't want to run into the sideline here because A, if you step out, you can't be the first person to touch it. And B, it gives your quarterback less room to kind of layer it over that defender, right? It's a very tight throw. So he does take a lot of that space away, stems the cornerback, gets back on top of him, and makes the play, though. So while it's not perfect horizontally in the beginning, he does a good job stacking vertically and making the play. And the next example is even better. Top of the screen. I mean, we're right on that sideline, and he does a really good job. You can see if you watch the beginning of when he breaks away from the DB where he's located, he works back towards the numbers, works back, makes the play. Good stuff. So, maybe want to see him get by the defender with a little bit more room. But all things considered, he does a really good job stacking and making the play and allowing the quarterback to kind of have a little bit more room to make the play there. So, not perfect, but overall, working with what we got and doing a good job. Top of the screen here. So this is him. Basically, same thing as the last two plays we saw, but he's actually going to get pushed out here. So we're up. We're out of bounds. We're eliminated from the play, essentially. Still throw the seam to the tight end for a touchdown, but you'd rather see him not go out of bounds, obviously. So next play, bottom of the screen here. See this a little bit here. Like I said, he didn't see a ton of press, but you see this a decent amount on the tape when he does get pressed here. So not that he gets, jammed off the line, but there's not any separation. That guy's with us the whole way here, doing a really good job covering us. So see how that translates at the next level. with that being said, I do think he showed some pretty decent horizontal release packages. So just need a bigger sample size to kind of get a final say on that. Blocking, uh, overall, again, kind of just in the middle of the pack with the rest of the guys in the class. Obviously, he's a big guy, but 200 pounds at 6'5" is extremely lean for an NFL player. Um, here's a rep of him losing. If this guy, is going to make the play. We're going to talk a little bit about effort on this next rep here. I do think there's some questionable effort everywhere in his game. So, not that this isn't anything that, his guy made the play or, he lost his team the game because he's not trying, you know. But that this is just a good example of what shows up, and it is often. RPO, half-assed hitch, RPO, half-assed smokescreen, half-assed runoff. There's times where he'll run a route and a concept, and like a player will, like I don't know, hypothetically, let's say he runs, a hitch or a curl, and maybe the running back catches a flat, or we got the seam to the tight end. He will stand there and not move from his spot. He just will sit there and watch the play. I saw that a lot. So I'd like to see the guy, hustle, go, just make it look better than it is, man. I mean, you're not impacting the play here, but just make it look good. You don't have to do this. Like, come on, you know. What is this, a walkthrough at practice? Let's see a little bit more effort. But overall, I do like the player. I think his size, deep threat ability, in combination with his route running is desirable, and I think he's a deep threat impact day one in the NFL. Um, Effort concerns, maybe press, rack ability, creating separation could be some red flags in the NFL, but time will tell. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See ya.